This is Jonathan Agger, fifth for Pro Boxing Fans, joined by Johnny Nelson here in Newcastle. It's fight week. Savannah Marshall against Femke Hermans. Johnny, how are you feeling?
Good. It's nice to be back in Newcastle again. Femke Hermans, she is the opponent for Savannah Marshall come Saturday night. Our eyes are on Claressa Shields, and the only person that's sticking to business, sticking to the script is Savannah Marshall. And she said, this is not about impressing Claressa Shields. It's about me doing my job and defending my title against a European champion, former WBO super middleweight champion. You know, she's got the right attitude to have.
Any pressure on Savannah this weekend with that Claressa Shields fight looming?
As far as she's concerned, no. There's always pressure if you're a champion anyway. As soon as you get in there, everything's always on the line. You've got a lot more to lose than everybody else you get in with. And she understands that. That's why she's not getting sucked into our mindset. Talking about Claressa being ringside, talking about the fight of her and Claressa. She's not getting into it. This is. She said, look, I'm the A side here. You're going to understand. She might be the loudest, but I'm the A side. And so, again, she wanted to prove that.
As a fighter, when you've got a fight coming up with, a common opponent in Femke Hermans, do you think about, I want to do a better job than my rival did?
So it depends on who you've got in your ear, who your mentor is, who your guide is. Hers is Peter Fury, and I'm sure Peter will bring her back down to earth and say, forget about what she's done. You are two completely different animals. Do what you do. So if Savannah's going to go out there and Peter says, I want you to box her. Don't try and knock out, box her. Sharpen your tools in preparation for the next fight coming up. Then she'll do that. This is not about impressing Claressa. This is not about making a statement for us. This is about Savannah developing herself, making her coach happy to say, right then, you are champion and you are becoming a better fighter day by day. So again, you can see it, you can hear what she's saying. She's basically, as far as she's concerned, this is about her. It's nothing to do with Claressa.
Touch on the undercard, Florian and Chris Jenkins. What do you think of that fight?
Good fight. Former champion in Chris Jenkins. Gary Lockett's no fool in regards to slipping his man in. This will be the acid test for Florian because he's in there with someone that's got the experience, that has a boxing IQ. So now we're going to see if his brawns is going to outpace the brains of the boxing IQ, and they want people to take him serious. So this is probably that fight where people are looking and think, oh, this guy can actually fight. He's not just a mouthpiece.
And your pick from the rest of the undercard?
I'm looking forward to the main bout, if I'm honest with you. That's what I'm looking for. Bradley Ray's on, good fight. I'm looking at the heavyweights as well. Another good fight, interesting. You always like the heavyweights. But the main fight itself is what I'm most looking forward to.
Johnny, a couple of other things I wanted to touch on. Kell Brook, his name's been mentioned with Chris Eubank Jr. I know you've given your thoughts on what you'd like to see him do next, but what do you think of that fight?
It raises more questions than it does answers. One, what weight will Chris come in at? Two, will there be a weighing clause when he does do that, if he does do that? Three, who's the best opponent? Is it Chris? Is it Conor Benn? Is it Josh Taylor? And four, which one makes Kell get up at stupid o'clock in the morning and train like a maverick, like he did for the fight against Amir Khan. Amir Khan, who's invoked his, I think that's the right word, his rematch clause for whatever reason, has now put it in the position to say to Kell, if you fight anybody else, I get paid, or the next person you fight is me. I understand why he's done that. You know, it's like, why wouldn't he do that? Why wouldn't he say, let's do this? I totally get it. I think the motivation is probably different to what you and I think it is for him doing that. But why wouldn't I do that if I was a miss? I don't blame him.
Johnny, when we last spoke, Anthony Joshua's opponent was up in the air with Oleksandr Usyk. You didn't want to sort of talk about it until AJ came out, but now we know the rematch is happening with Oleksandr Usyk. What do you think of that? I think Anthony Joshua was always, as far as he was concerned, he was always training for Usyk until he was told otherwise. The public were the ones that were saying it could be him, it could be that. The promoters are saying it could be this fight, it could be that fighter.
I know he's training. I saw him training before this announcement was even done. The options were always there. So I think by the time the public hear about it, they've already made their mind up how it's happening. I'm glad the fight's happening. Anthony Joshua has a chance to become a three-time heavyweight champion of the world. There's not many fighters that have done that. It's a tougher ask, obviously, than it is with the Ruiz rematch, but it's not an impossible ask.
And just two more quickly, Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte coming up April 23rd. Still no word from Dillian Whyte yet. What do you make of his continued silence?
Dillian Whyte's doing a Tyson Fury on Tyson Fury. You know, he's not playing ball. He's doing it at his pace, at his rules. He's not. So Tyson Fury must understand what's happening there. You know, this isn't Dillian's problem. It isn't Tyson's problem. This is the promoter's problem. The fight will go on. The guys will fight. Dillian Whyte is just giving Tyson Fury a bit of his own medicine. I remember Tyson Fury doing antics like this. Obviously not saying stuff, but doing antics like this when he boxed Klitschko. You know, it's the idea is to upset the apple cart at the other side. So Dillian Whyte's doing the right thing.
As a fighter, would Fury even think about this, or not really?
Nah, not really. Not really. Tyson Fury, no. I think he knows almost every trick in the book when it comes to boxing. So now, you know, it's probably a bigger deal to us than it is to everybody else.
And just finally, Tyson Fury brought in Jarrell Miller into his camp. A lot of sort of backlash online from that. What did you make of it?
Tyson Fury's brought in the best option he has for fighting Dillian Whyte. So regardless of what Jarrell Miller's has done or doing, that's not Tyson's problem. It's not anybody's problem. Tyson's just sharpening his tools for the fight. So we can make a massive spectacle of like you shouldn't speak to him or you shouldn't be around him or whatever. You know, basically just getting himself ready for the fight. And even if he was still taking drugs, even if he was still doing what he's doing, you know, he's getting the best preparation for this fight. Tyson Fury's getting the best preparation for this fight as he can. What Miller does in his private life is his business. That's what he does. Tyson's just trying to do what's best for him.
All right, well, Johnny, appreciate your time and roll on Saturday night.